guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here to do a quick video. Well, it's probably not going to be quick, to be fair. I have set a challenge in my Facebook group. So if you haven't joined the group, it's called Shabbydabbydoodah Junk Journal Group. And it's on Facebook, so you know, head over there. We're having lots of fun. Lots of people are showing gorgeous pictures of their projects and things like that. Hopefully it's going to be a great resource for us to all share, you know, tips and shops and things like that that we find, you know, new crafting products, or you know, maybe how to use things. You know, if you're having, I don't know, troubles with, for instance, crocodiles, you know, that would be like hopefully a great place for us to all share tips and things like that. But I've set a challenge just as a kind of welcome, you know, bit of fun really. And it's basically, we're going to call this the November challenge, obviously. And what it consists of is using an item for each one of the letters of the word November. So we've got N for newspaper, O is oval, V for vellum, E for envelopes, M for music, B for buttons, E for ephemera, and R for ribbon. And I have brought along a selection of things, obviously, for each one of those letters. You can use more than one of any of those things, and you can be, you know, loosely, you know, in your interpretation of those words. For instance, music, I have got sheet music here, and I've also got these lovely images of kind of musical instruments. So, you know, it doesn't have to be kind of music as in only sheet music or, you know, things like that. You can kind of interpret it as you wish, so long as your challenge includes, you know, at least one of each of these things. And of course you can add other things. So if you want to add lace or, you know, postage stamps or anything like that, of course, that's absolutely fine. So if you haven't joined the group, yep, go over there and join it. So that would be fantastic. I'm going to move all these little bits out of the way, and we're just going to get cracking with making some bits. So I've started out by, I've got my envelope, so obviously E for envelopes. Just going to move my camera slightly. And I have folded it over just to kind of make it, you know, form a sort of booklet type shape. And I'm just going to take my newspaper, so the N for newspaper, and cover the envelope with the newspaper. Now, I'm really lucky because I have got this vintage newspaper here. So this one's from 1914, which is just awesome. I'm just going to tear this down. Oops. So I have a slightly, actually, I'm going to tear the top part because it's huge, this newspaper. So just want to make it more manageable to be able to fit it onto my desk, really. Not made a good job of that at all, so let's hope that the rest of the video doesn't follow that particular style, because well, that would just be hideous to watch. So I'm going to just cover the entire outside of the envelope with the newspaper. So I really love where it says, you know, the times. I think that's really, really nice. So I'm wondering actually whether I might prefer to have that, you know, sideways on, so that I get that in its entirety down on the envelope. I mean, obviously that's slightly weird because it is sideways on, but it's nice because obviously then I do get the entire thing on. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to take my glue. Now, this newspaper, obviously, like I say, this is from 1914, and it's just kind of falling apart all over the place. You can probably see bits of paper here kind of all over my piece now. So I have to be a bit careful when I'm sticking this on that I don't just tear through it. If you don't have any vintage newspaper, you know, and you're joining in the challenge, you know, it doesn't have to be vintage. You can use any newspaper. Obviously, you know, the vintage ones are quite good because they tend to have quite a lot of text compared to a lot of modern day newspapers, which, you know, often have a lot of images and things. Also, I don't know whether it's just me, but the text seems smaller on vintage papers. That might just be my imagination, but it seems like it's smaller, which again is quite nice because, you know, that looks really lovely, obviously. But if you haven't got any newspaper, then of course you could just go onto Google Images and just then search up, you know, vintage newspaper. And then I'm sure you're going to get lots and lots of, you know, different images for vintage newspapers, and you could just print something from there and use that. So, you know, you don't have to actually have some vintage newspaper. If you haven't got any, you can just source something to use from somewhere else. So just go around here. Okay. I mean, you can probably see it's literally falling apart as I'm using this newspaper, which is a bit of a shame really, but then, you know, that's, I suppose, the, you know, the lovely charm about using kind of vintage things, isn't it? You know, that they are very delicate and, you know, brittle and all of that type of stuff. So, okay. Just pop that back on. I'm just going to fold this over. Right, as you can see, it's not quite fitting up to the corners. I thought that might happen, but, you know, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. So just fold that down along here. Okie dokie. And then I'm wondering whether I could just probably tear this, to be honest, because obviously, as you can see, you know, where it's falling apart anyway, if I just kind of fold it there and just tear that, which is kind of nicer, isn't it, than having the cut edges, you know. I think it looks somehow sort of better, really. And then again, oops, did not make a good job of my folded part at all, so okay, right, that looks very awful, I have to say, but again, it doesn't really matter because I can cover that up and, you know, hopefully it's going to look okay once it's actually all done. So again, just kind of tear that down there like that. Okay, so that's my cover. I mean, as you can see, I really have made a hideous job of doing that. So yeah, obviously not one to copy my method there. Just going to tear these bits. You know, and again, I mean, I really don't mind if it's kind of a little bit scraggly at the edges. I just think that looks kind of better. Okay, I'll just go down here. Like that. Okay, right, so let's just put these into the bin like that. So that's my newspaper front, and then on the inside I've brought along some vintage pages that I thought I could just put in the inside. Look at that gorgeous page there. Oh, it's just yummy, isn't it? Yeah, really, really love that page. So I'm just going to fold it over just to form a little kind of mini journal in here. And I've also got some, you know, some vintage ledger kind of sheets here. Just checking that they're going to actually fit. Oh, that's a shame because they're going to lose their number. That is a shame. Well, it can't be helped, to be honest. So I'm going to just trim them down about here. Like that. Okie dokie. And then what I might do is tear these down. Just for a bit more interest going on there. Like that. Let's hope that they fit in now. Yep, they kind of roughly fit. And then I'm just going to slot my book page in around them. So I'm going to have that one there because that's my favourite one. Like that. Maybe we could do with a couple more pages, to be honest. I thought that that might be enough, but I think actually perhaps we'll have a couple more. So let's just have a look. I mean, I could use some sheet music, but I'm not quite sure about that. So there we go. I've got a coffee dyed page there that was just, you know, laying around to the side of me. So we'll pop that in. They don't have to be the same size. You know, it's quite nice to sort of mix it up, isn't it? And, you know, have an eclectic kind of thing going on. I have got some scraps of sheet music here. So I could probably put one of those in as a page as well. Okay. So perhaps I should tidy up the bottom like that. Okie dokie. Maybe I'll have this in the middle like that. Yeah, that's looking quite nice, isn't it? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover the insides of this. So I might as well just use up the rest of that newspaper because, of course, you know, I've started using it. I might as well just, you know, finish it and then it's kind of gone from the desk. So I'm just going to glue that down. I'm not going to glue over the fold this time. I mean, just as well, really, because I made such a horrible mess of that. But okie dokie. So again, I want to put quite a lot of glue on because, you know, that paper is really falling apart. And to be honest, if I don't kind of get glue more or less everywhere, I might find that the paper is almost like cracking and, you know, dropping off of the envelope. So just put plenty on there. Okay. Now, which side do I want? Actually, let's go with this one. So, oops. Just put that down about there. Again, just press that down. I'm not using my spreader for this. You might have noticed, because again, where that paper is so brittle and, you know, delicate, I'm a little bit worried that if I used my card, I could end up tearing the paper, to be honest. So I'm just trying to, you know, be extra gentle. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to tear that down along there. Okie dokie. Get rid of that. Like that. And then this one here. Oops. Okay. And then this side we'll just have... Okay, so I just need to straighten this up a little bit because I've not done a very good job of, you know, that's not very straight. So we just go down there a little bit. So it looks a little bit straighter. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's fine. That will do. Okie dokie. That's it. Plenty of that on there. Oh, don't start messing about now, glue, please. My glue's been quite well behaved this morning, and now as I just, you know, think that and say that, it's now going to start messing about. Oh, isn't this always the way? Okay. Okie dokie, right, so plenty of glue on there now. Just put my pin back into the glue and we'll just stick this one down here like that. Okay. Again, just being kind of delicate, you know, pressing it down for sure, but, you know, being a bit delicate rather than using my spreader and risking just, you know, ripping the page completely. So, I mean, you can probably see just how delicate and easy to tear that this is. So, yeah, really kind of just need to be a bit, you know, mindful of that. So, that's that one. Okay. And just this little piece here. Oops. Okay. Right, so that's my base of my envelope covered. Now I'm going to put a couple of pockets on there, and I just wondered whether I could do them out of my photos, to be honest, because that might look quite cute. Now, also need to just be mindful of the music theme. Yeah. So all of these are quite nice, aren't they? Okay, well, I'm going to tear this one. Just going to tear that out in the first place. Actually, I'm going to try and cut this. I'm going to do what they call kiss cutting this, and I know I've said this before, I actually don't get on very well with kiss cutting things. I find it quite difficult to keep to the kiss cutting, and then before I know it, I find myself, you know, doing a mixture of kiss cutting and then right next to the image. But I'm going to try. Okay. Yeah. You can probably see I have gone literally, you know, bit of kiss cutting, bit of right next to the image, you know. No consistency going on there. But hopefully it looks okay anyway. There we go. So I've got my little piano. So I'm wondering whether I could have my music themed bits going on the front cover, and then the photos kind of inside as pockets. What do you think? Is that going to be quite nice or rubbish? I'm not sure. Let me just have a look through what else I brought along, because obviously I've got various different bits of ephemera. I mean, I absolutely love this. Might have to just tuck that in. I wonder whether if I just have a look. Oh, kind of preferring that, I think. Yeah, I kind of prefer that. Well, actually, let's just... Because I'm thinking, could I have this as like a long tag poked into one of these photos? Or do we want to go sort of much more vintage looking than that? I've got that, but I'm not over keen on that brown, adding the brown to it. Got this page from a vintage book. Oh, absolutely love that. And then we've got this. I'm not very good when it comes to mixing, you know, this like a vintage photo with kind of these illustrations and things. I struggle a little bit to do that. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, I find that quite difficult to do. Let me cut this down. Okay. So I think this is too wide for that page at the moment, so it will need sort of backing. Oh no, it's okay. I thought that was going to be too wide, but actually that's just right, I would say, for that page. Okay, so I like that better, I think. So what I'm going to do is just put this onto some book page to thicken it up. Let me see whether I've got some thickish book page. Hold on. Hold on. Oops. I'll just tear down some book page here, and I'm going to just pop that down like that. So let's just stick this down. That's quite a relief because this one's nowhere near obviously as brittle as the, well, it's not brittle at all, as that newspaper, which really was quite, you know, quite tricky to use because it was so delicate. Again, some glue all through the middle of there. Okay, so I just used this book page because this is a bit thicker than kind of a thinner book page, so I thought it would be a bit more, you know, robust really. And then I just want to do similar with this. So again, just did that need cutting down? It did a bit. So I'm just going to cut this down so that then, you know, I glue it where it really needs gluing. So like that. Oops. Oh, come on. Come on, come on. Okay. Lots of glue on there. Like that. And we'll just glue this one down. Okie dokie, right. Press those down. Okay, right, then we're going to just take this here. Trim that down like that. Okay, so I'm going to have that one on the back and then we'll pop this one on the inside of the front. Oops. Oh my gosh, I'm making a horrible job of cutting this now. Okay. There we go. Okay, so they're quite nice like that, aren't they? And then I'm just wondering whether we could just have some ribbon. Oh, not there, not there. Maybe down there. Not sure about the ribbon actually. Now, do we want some other bits or anything up the top? Let's just have a look. Oh, I haven't used any vellum yet, so I must remember that. I must not forget to use the vellum. Otherwise, I've failed at my own challenge, haven't I? Well, that wouldn't be the first time, obviously, but I should try not to fail, shouldn't I? Right, so I might just pop a little bit of sheet music on there too. Oops. Okie dokie. Oh gosh, come on now. Let's not have silly games with the glue now. Okay, right. So that's that one. We're just going to pop that down here. Like that. So we've got some sheet music going on, so at least we've incorporated some music somewhere so far. And then we're going to stick this on as a pocket here. So just pop that down. Like that. Okay. Oops. And then we're going to just have this one down here as a pocket here. Now, do we want to have a bit of sheet music coming out from there as well? Might be nice, mightn't it? Okay, because don't forget, you know, you're not going to be able to see these either side, if you see what I mean, because the pages are going to be in the middle. So, you know, if you're thinking, oh gosh, that looks rubbish, hopefully it will look okay, because you're not going to see these two pages together, if you see what I mean. So pop that one down there, and then we'll just stick our pocket along the side. Like that. Okay, that's there. Okay, right, let me just trim off from the other side where I can just kind of see that just coming over slightly. Okay, right, that looks better. Press that down. Okay, and then for the front of this, I'm going to just take that oval. Now, I was going to have this oval here, but I've also got, obviously, these ovals. So what I'm going to do is just cut this, which is obviously the, you know, what do you call it? The, like the negative, you know. Just cut that down, thanks, like that. Okay, so I just want to make that more like a frame, like that. Because I'm wondering then whether I could have my vellum inside there. So I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping on here. Just going to take my black stays on and just literally stamp a little bit. Might just use this stamp here. Okay. And then just want to ink this up so it's not looking, you know, really really out of place with the rest. Let me just grab a fresh ink pad for my blendy tool. I'll come here to the side so I won't long. There we go, right. So we'll just ink this up. Like that. Might have to go around this a little bit and rough it up a bit because it just looked a bit flat, which I'm not so keen on. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my vellum like that. So what I'm going to do is just glue the vellum down onto there. And then what I will probably do is actually stitch this around on the sewing machine. So we'll just take this down like this. Okay, it doesn't need too much glue because I don't want it really seeping out. Okay, like that. Okie dokie, and then I'm just going to trim that down around here. Like that, and then I'm going to take this across to the sewing machine and just stitch around there. Now, if I just bring my booklet back in, and then where's my piano that I cut out just now? Here it is. Because I'm thinking we could have the piano kind of behind the frame, which looks quite pretty then, doesn't it? So I'll just dink that up a bit. And then that will be over the top like that. So just before I stitch this on the sewing machine, obviously I haven't incorporated any ribbon yet. So I just want to check that I don't want to have any ribbon, you know, anywhere stitched around on here. I don't think I do. Right, I'm just going to nip to the sewing machine, back in 2 moments. Okay, so I'm back from the sewing machine. So that's how that looks now. Super pretty, isn't it? Really, really like how that looks. So just going to put those to one side. I'm going to ink this up like that. And just all around. And then what I haven't also done, which I meant to do, was I will cut it open to make pockets. So I'll just go around here like this. Oops. Okie dokie. And then what I'm going to do now, do I want to have like top loading pockets or side? I always go for side loading when I use envelopes. I don't know why that is. Perhaps I should mix it up. Right, let's just have a look, because I'm going to put some lace on the spine to cover up obviously that shoddy fold. So I just want to see how this would look like that. And then what I might do is have like a ribbon closure of some kind. I also haven't included any buttons yet, so I mustn't forget to do that. Let's just pull a couple in. I mean, the good thing is if I cut on the here, then obviously I can put my ribbon into the side, you know, tucked into the thing, which is always quite handy to do. So perhaps I should do that. Okay, so I'm just going to cut down a slice off the edge. Get my scissors. So we've got that one like that, and just a slither again off of this edge too. Okie dokie. Get rid of those bits now. because then my ribbon can actually glue straight into there, which, you know, that's going to be easier to do. So let's just do the front cover. I'm going to have it like that. Thinking I might like a number or something on here as well, so let's just have a look. Oops. Yeah, I quite like that. And actually I'm wondering whether I could have a postage stamp somewhere. So let me just bring in, oh, they're red. I think I've got some sorted in browns. So kind of brown tones. That's quite nice, isn't it? Perhaps we could have those there. Yeah, I quite like it like that, I think. And do we want any doily or anything? I mean, I'm just going to see how that looks under the vellum. It might look really weird. Let's just check without. I think it's probably better not under the vellum. But I'm not saying not at all. So maybe a little bit kind of down there, just poking out at the bottom. Looks quite pretty, doesn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to do is glue my piano down, because then it stops moving around all over the place. I'll just pop that down, yeah, about there. Like that. Okay, and then my frame. So I'm just going to glue down that doily down the bottom. I quite like the stark contrast of the white doily. Weirdly, I find that that looks quite nice. So like that. And we're going to have these two in here, like that. And then do we want anything else? Oops. Maybe another postage stamp over there. So let me just pop these all back in here. Okie dokie. Right, so I probably need to, yeah, glue this down. So let's just glue this down with some Fabri-Tac. Like that. Okay, whoops, dropped that. And that just needs to go down here. Like that. Oops, now dragging the doily around. Oh dear. Press that down. Hopefully stick it everywhere. Okay, now these vintage, oh, these postage stamps, they are vintage, but I'm just going to give them a little bit extra inking as well. So then we'll just pop this one on. Okay. And the same with this one. Again, it is vintage, but I will just ink it a bit as well. No harm in making it look even more vintage, is there? Like that. Right, now just before I glue those bits down, just want to check. I've got some of my lovely coffee dyed lace here just floating around. So, I mean, that's really nice, to be honest. I was going to have the ivory. Let's just check. I mean, they're quite a different look, aren't they? Each one really brings something else to the piece. It's quite hard to decide. What did I do with my other buttons? Right, for some weird reason, a blue one there. Don't really want to have a blue one. Looks slightly out of place, doesn't it? So let me find some of the other buttons that I brought along in the more neutral colours. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I quite like it like that. Now, I also have these letter stickers, which I did wonder whether I could make, you know, do some sort of word or something. The only thing is, I mean, I absolutely love these stickers, and you can probably see they're this gorgeous, glossy, sheeny black. But where they're this weird font and they're actually in capitals, it's quite hard to make a word that looks like a word. It actually can look quite strange. You know, because I thought, oh, perhaps I'll write inspire. But I'm not quite sure that that's going to look right once I actually kind of stick it down. So let me just bring in, a paper scrap and see if I can just put it along there. Got some here with some napkin, actually. Oh, no. Oh, no, not that one. Hold on, let me just get a paper scrap in the right colour. Honestly, even things like that sometimes, you know, it all kind of makes a difference, doesn't it? Okay, got some envelope type colour here. So just tear that down. Well, it's not envelope type colour, it is obviously an offcut of some envelope. So it's not just envelope type colour, it is in fact an envelope. Right. So this would be inspire. Let's see how it looks. See if it looks as weird as I think it might. Oh, stuck to me. Okay. There's the P's. I mean, it's even hard to literally see what letters they are while they're stuck down on the sheet, to be honest. So, let alone when they're actually then stuck, you know, in isolation. Oops. Right, nearly there. And then an E. I mean, look, that really looks like a G, doesn't it? They really are tricky, you know, tricky stickers. Very tricky stickers, to be honest. So, just going to tear that round. Ink that up quite a lot. Bring my piece back in. Oh, well, perhaps it looks okay. Haven't glued these down yet, so maybe I should have it more like this. Oh, that's better, I think. Okay, I'm going to go for that. So just going to hot glue this on. And again, I really like to do this because it just gives it a bit of dimension, because I'm not pressing that really hard, so it makes it kind of a bit lumpy and sort of sticking up, which I just think is really nice, you know, to have a bit more texture going on there. So that's that one. Then I'm just going to pop this postage stamp down here. And again, I'll just use the fabric tack for this one, because obviously it's going over quite a few different surfaces. So it's going across the vellum, you know, the oval, which is quite thick, and obviously the stitching. So, okie dokie. Right, so that's that. And then we've just got the word inspire. Oops, I'll have to move him over a bit, otherwise I couldn't quite fit this in. There we go. Might have it up there a little bit so as you can kind of see the stitching a bit. And again, I'm going to hot glue this down. I mean, obviously this is just paper because it's just the envelope, but it just gives it that sort of slightly lumpy feel, which is quite nice then for, you know, giving you some texture really. Okay, so that's that. And again, just need to obviously be mindful that I'm going to be popping those buttons on there. Let's do that now before I forget, to be honest. Okay, like that. Okay, so I'm going to stitch my pages in like that. I might add 1 or 2 more pages actually before I do that. And then I'll come back and, you know, we'll attach our closure and just sort of cover up where I've stitched the pages in. But yeah, it's looking super cute, isn't it? So I still can't decide between the black lace and the ivory, but hopefully we'll decide in a moment. So I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back from the sewing machine and I just added a couple of extra pages, and these are just pages just from some brown paper bag. So, I mean, they're not really pages, they're brown paper bag, but I just thought they made quite a nice addition in here as well. So I just stitched it straight down through the middle. Just going to get rid of that thread. And then I also picked up some black lace whilst I was just up, because I thought actually perhaps I would prefer some black lace. So I mean, obviously I always love using the black lace, so yeah, I think perhaps that is better for this one. So I'm just going to sort of glue that down. Now this is a really wide lace trim, as you can probably see, so I'm going to probably trim it off at the back. So let's just glue it on the front, and then we'll kind of see, you know, gauge where it needs gluing or, you know, cutting at the back. So just glue it down there. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to probably just cut it across here. Like that. Okay. Just check that that's, yeah, okay, go across here. And then obviously I can just now turn it over and glue that down on the back. So, you know, it's not straight. That doesn't really worry me. I quite like it like that. So just going down across there. Like that. Oops. Just flicking all sorts of stuff in now. Okay, so that's that. And we've got the buttons on there, haven't we? I might have a butterfly, so I brought a couple of butterflies along. So I might pop this one on here. I nearly forgot, but we also want to have our ribbon closure. So I'm going to glue that in here. So I'll just add a dab of glue. that, and then I'll turn it over. And then what I'll do, I will just put, so I've got a really long piece here, but I'm just going to then pop that again in the middle on the back, on the inside of the back cover. And then hopefully we can kind of tie a bow to gauge just, you know, how long we want to cut this. So like that. And then we'll just tie a bow with the ribbon, and then we'll know exactly the length that we want to cut the ribbon. So yep, about here. Gives it quite a generous piece. Take that out. Okay. Let's just put this ribbon back on the spool. Trying to just be tidy and clear as I go, which obviously that doesn't really come naturally to me. So, well, I mean, weirdly enough, I do everywhere else in my life, but just not in crafting. For some reason in crafting, I just can't wait to get on to the next thing. So, hence it often just gets left. But yeah, I'm trying to be really good. So putting that down. And then what I also bought in, whilst I just stopped the video, was got these gorgeous little gems, which I'd received from Anya in Happy Mail. Oops, oh my gosh, these are titchy, so I'm struggling a little bit. And I thought we could have these somewhere. I think actually over there looked quite nice. Oh gosh. These are really super fiddly. Oh my gosh, now look, I've spilt them all everywhere. Ah. Oh my goodness, come on. No. Yeah, so I'm thinking we'll just put those over there in the corner. Although now I'm wondering whether they might be better somewhere else. Let me do that packet back up before I end up with them literally flung everywhere. I mean, I had originally thought here, but then I thought perhaps it looked a bit like I had something on every corner of this, which then, you know, I wasn't so keen on. But let me just try again. Oh, gosh. Oh, come on. Oh, perhaps I will put them there. I think they're just better there than they are up here for some reason. Oh, gosh. This is going to be so fiddly. So I'm going to try and just glue kind of 3 blobs down there. Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean, I literally cannot see where that glue is at all. So I can only hope for the best that I've actually even stuck them on the glue and not just on the card. Right. Okay. Finally. Well, got them on there. Yeah, so I've then got this butterfly. Perhaps we'll have the butterfly somewhere. Maybe there or here. I think I prefer it over here. So again, I'm just going to hot glue that down. Like that. Okay, and then going inside, I've got one of my little street names. So I'm just going to ink this up. I thought this would look good just on the back, inside of the back cover. I'm just going to pop that down, maybe up there. Now, I have to say, I did not make a very good job of stitching this in. I'm unfortunately off to the side a little bit, so that's why my pages aren't, you know, laying flat as they should be. You can probably see, you know, they're opening flat at the front, but not really at the back, because of course I've gone not down the central line. Can you see? It's kind of over there. Gets better as it goes down, but yeah, certainly wasn't brilliant at the start. So yeah, not great. Sewing's just not really my forte, I've got to say. Right, might just have to have a little bit of lace on there. So I'm just going to trim off a little tiny bit of this black lace. going to try and trim it this way. I don't know whether this will work or not, but just kind of maybe. Just trim this down. We just have a little bit there, or do we want it up here? Maybe it's better up there. Okay, so again, just fabric tuck that across. Like that. Have still got that little piece of white doily left from the front cover. Oh, I don't know whether I've stuck this down now to itself, so just go with my card and see whether, yep, oh no, that's okay. Right, I'm just wondering whether the doily might look quite sweet in there. Oh gosh, no, let's just not bother with the doily because I can't even actually put it in there. Oh my goodness me. Don't know what's going on, but super fiddly. Well, perhaps they will give the doily a miss there. So let's go back to the inside of the front cover and perhaps have it on the inside of there instead. Just kind of using it up really, because of course, you know, now I've partially used it. Okay. Up there. Like that. And then I'm going to just pop a couple of things into the, or onto the pages. So just have that nice butterfly there. Oops. Okay, so that looks nice on there. And then we'll just kind of, you know, just put a couple of little bits and bobs around, just so it's not completely plain. So again, I've just got another number. And actually these pages, I mean, although this was from a sort of vintage book, they're not discoloured at all. So I could do with kind of inking those a little bit. Just pop one of my numbers down. Just so it's got a bit more going on really. Now, wondering whether we could have one of these photos on here as a pocket, or do we want to actually just have them tucked in? I mean, I quite like them because they've actually got writing on the back, which I love that, you know, when you can see other people's, what they've written. So perhaps I'll just tuck them in like that because, you know, that's really nice, isn't it? But what we could do is cut out another piano. So again, I'm just going to sort of attempt to kiss cut that. And you know what I should have done also? I should have had a vellum page in here. Didn't even occur to me until now, and now it's of course too late. So okay. Just cut around this. Sorry guys, I know it's a bit like watching paint dry probably, but oh, come on. Okay. There we go. Right. So again, just ink this up. like that. And we can just, oh, let's have that on the sheet music page, because that's very apt, isn't it? Being there on that page with the sheet music. Okay, right, so I'm going to pop that on there. So what I might do is continue in the same vein and just kind of decorate this up, adding a few little bits and pieces, and then come back, only because I'm, you know, I'm aware that this video is now getting quite lengthy, which keeps on happening lately with my videos. So yeah, I might come back literally to you know, show you a couple of more things that I've done. So just to sort of, you know, save you all having to watch. So I'll be back. This is my finished little piece, and yeah, I just popped my definition of the word love there from my Black Words kit. The front, I don't think I've done anything different, except I added just this little bronzy type colour, or copper, I don't know, bronzy copper type colour button down there. And then here on the lace, I've just attached a little bulb pin with, this is a vintage button, and this is a little key which I got in Happy Mail also from Anya. So I just kind of did some patina on that so to colour it, because it was a little wooden one. So that just hangs on there. Yep, I don't think I've done anything else. And then obviously it just ties up at the side with the ribbon. So we just untie that. And then going in, obviously this is my little pocket, and I just put in a couple of bits of, you know, authentic ephemera pieces. I've just added a couple more bits on here to kind of make it look a bit more interesting. And then in this pocket, I just made a great big, well, it's not a great big, but, you know, a flippy pad. And this is just made from offcuts and scraps and things like that. So it's got lots of, again, vintage ephemera. You've got a half an oval just on there, and lots of, you know, fly sheets and inside sheets from some vintage books and things. So it's, you know, quite authentically vintage in the main, except for obviously the paperback pieces. And then we've got some vintage book page. We've got some paper bag with a little butterfly, and then just a couple of the little pages there. Oops, must have missed inking this one. It looks very, very bright white, doesn't it? So I mean, it's not white, it's ivory, but it looks very bright. So let's just tone that down a bit. I should have really coffee dyed these. It didn't really occur to me until now. So there we go. And then going over, you've got a little number, another page, a little label there with some tea bag on it, and it's been stitched around on the sewing machine. Oops, this one I have managed to, oh my gosh, oh no, what a wally. I totally forgot what I'd done there, and literally I only did this like 10 minutes ago. What an idiot. Right, let's just glue that back down. So this page, which I was then trying to demolish, it's actually got a little vellum pad on there, because I think I said just before I stopped the video, but I hadn't included any vellum pages. So the only vellum I had was this vellum on the front, which is, you know, is fine. It's still incorporated like the challenge. But I thought I'd get rid of the rest of the sheet of vellum. So I just made a little vellum pad, and then I've glued it on here and then covered it again with some more sheet music. So again, for some more, you know, music. And then I've got another page, this page. Now, as you can see, where I've kind of stitched this in really skew, if it just, you know, it looks terrible, to be honest, but it's, you know, it's fine. It still looks kind of cute. And then you've got another piano that I've just popped on there. And then we've got some more journaling pages, another one of those little stitched labels with the tea bags. And then just going over the word piano. And then, oops, back to the back, we've got a little number, some more of that vintage book page. And then on the back, I just added a little flip out. Again, popped a piano on there with some more newspaper. And then that just opens out like that. This is paper bag again. So, you know, another little bit of journaling. And then in here, so you've just got one of my street signs, and then you've got the pocket here. Again, a piece of genuine vintage ephemera. And then here, this is just literally a scrap from a piece of envelope. What I did, I popped a little label with a tea bag and the piano. And then one of those closure Ujimi things. So when you open that, it opens out like this. You've got another label there, so you've got journaling space all around here, and then also it just opens out. That's just, you know, how it was for the envelope, if you see what I mean. But I thought that made actually a really neat little closure thing. Yeah, I wouldn't mind making some more, but to be honest, I probably could never actually manage to recreate this again. But yeah, all from just an offcut of a little envelope. So I love how that turned out. I think that's really, really great, because I mean, it just literally holds itself closed, and then you've got tons of journaling space in there. So that just goes in here like that. That closes on there, and then on the back, in the back pocket, I just made this little kind of Ujimi thing. So here you've got some Velcro like that holding it together. Now this ribbon is attached on the back, and this flippy is just made from paper bag. So held inside there, you've got a tag, you've got a vintage piece of ephemera there that I've just backed onto some card, and then you've just got a printable postcard. So they're all on there. Again, you've got the little word music. And then this piece here, it's just a little flippy, which I think I've now glued again together. Not having a lot of luck with the glue today. So it flips out just kind of like a trifold piece. But what I did, I just attached the ribbon on the back. Again, I've popped half an oval there just as a sort of extra journaling space, and again, because it just helps to keep that ribbon in place, really. But basically, when you then close that, your ribbon's attached at the back, you close it over like that, bring it in, and then you've got your Velcro closure there with a little flower. And again, you've got a cute little piano, a little stamped image there on some sewing pattern paper, one of my street signs and my numbers. And again, I just popped another button on there just to you know, incorporate another button really. And again, some more of those little fiddly you know, little pearls there, because I thought they just looked gorgeous. And then again, you can just pop all this in here and Velcro it. You don't need to have popped them in first, because they obviously can just slide, you know, slide in and out as well, because, you know, that's not on there really tight or anything. And that just all goes into the back pockets like that. So yeah, I hope that you liked the little challenge for our word of November, as just kind of the welcome to the Facebook group challenge. I had a lot of fun making my little you know, foldy kind of booklet journal-y thing. I don't know really what it would be called, but yeah, I had a lot of fun making it, and really looking forward to seeing obviously lots of pictures and things of all the projects that you guys come up with on the Facebook group. So yeah, please, you know, join me in the challenge, and I'd love to see all your pictures and things. So hope that you liked the video, and maybe it gave you some inspiration, and thank you so much for joining me, and see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.